Speed, I got speed.
Roll audio.
Music Range Live, take 3.
Should have seen that look in Father's eyes. His only son was born that mid-July. Year was 1895. Baby boxing boy, a father boxer's prize, Mr. Delaware. His fate is not your own, but you don't care. The king is in his throne, and now his prince is there to carry on his title, Mr. Delaware. Oh, Mr. Delaware. At 12 years old, he steps into the ring. You can almost hear his father's heartstrings sing. Though he longed to be his family's pride and joy, couldn't bring himself to swing at the other boxing boy, Mr. Delaware. Can't you see he's not the same in there? I think you do, it's just that you don't care. As long as there's someone to follow in your footsteps, Mr. Delaware. Oh, Mr. Delaware. He lost his 100th fight. It was the first time that he saw his father cry. The night he left the ring and left his home, they'd be better off without, he'd be better off alone, Mr. Delaware. Beatings, you took your share. Defeated everywhere, and no one there knows what you Mr. Delaware. Oh, Mr. Delaware. He's not the same in there. But you don't care. No, you don't. Here we go.
So, Dean, where's your intent at channeling these words when you sat down to write this music?
Well, the swing stuff that I do is kind of inspired by old history. I read Sarah Groen's book Water for Elephants, and that kind of turned me on to a lot of history that I wasn't aware of, and I thought it was a brilliant way to write a novel and make people, aware of things, So I live in Sarasota, and it's a circus city, and then I started digging into the history of the circus, and the time period of like the 20s and 30s seemed to make sense to me, and the swing music seemed to be a nice backdrop for the stories that I was writing of these songs, So that kind of led me on the path, and I did a lot of research to actually write these songs, whereas my older songs are more sort of more about me and that personal and that kind of thing, So yeah.
Where's your inspiration come from? Like, what are some of the musicians you listen to?
Music-wise, I'm kind of all over the place. Started out with like Led Zeppelin and older rock bands, and went through a phase of punk and Fugazi and Minor Threat, the Ian MacKaye thing I was into a little bit, and And then somewhere along the line, I got into jazz, and I went to Jazz Commercial Music School of Performance in New York for about a year and a half. Studied jazz commercial guitar performance, and I was into guys like Joe Pass and Tuck Andrus that were doing like chord melody kind of stuff, And then I kind of got out of that and got into rock bands and left it all behind, sort of. And then I started writing in this swing vein, and it kind of brought me back to my roots of the jazz thing. And then I discovered Django Reinhardt and the Hot Club of France, and that led me on a different path completely, So I'm kind of sort of embracing that style, but I'm not really doing gypsy jazz. I'm really careful about commenting on the gypsy jazz thing because the guys who do it are just phenomenal, and I'm just starting to understand it myself, But I'm definitely kind of reaching for that, and it's humbling.
So that's kind of your backstory, is like you go and you read books and kind of travel that road.
Well, I went through a long phase of writing stuff about me, and I just got tired of my own story. At some point you get older and other people inspire you. Your emotions inspire you, and your personal life inspires you. Your family has been a big inspiration for me. But then it was kind of interesting as a songwriter, to write stories, and I also had an opportunity to do some soundtrack work for a couple. I did a soundtrack work for a college student at one point, and then there was a movie called Beautiful Noise that I did some of the incidental guitar work for, and then they used about 3 of my songs in the movie too. And then I started thinking that was another thing, just not just reading the stories, but also being involved in soundtrack and thinking about how music affects the story, and all that stuff started coming into play and making more sense when I was kind of taking this left turn or whatever.
Oh, I'll say. This one called Walker's Pure Extract. Walker's Pure Extract. Our island ginger will give you back what you like, and it's the only cure you need. But have you stepping like a steam? If you're not happy, bring it back. Walker's Pure Extract. Pick your poison wisely, boys, there's something going around. Thought we had it figured out till the USTD found. We can get our kicks in this little bottle for the sick. They can make it hard to take. Morality will surely fill our cups. Drink it up. Ooh, yeah. Walker's Pure Extract. Our island ginger will give you back what you like, and it's the only cure you need. We'll have you stepping like a steed. If you're not happy, bring it back. Walker's Pure Extract. Weights and measures, how does it boil down? The bootlegger's treasure, finding ways to get around. Slow the regulators up with a trick that'll keep us in the mix. Jamaican red and sour gum will keep us running rum to Walker's sick. That should do the trick. Ooh, yeah. Walker's Pure Extract. Our island ginger will give you back what you like, and it's the only cure you need. We'll have you stepping like a steed. If you're not happy, bring it back. Walker's Pure Extract. Roll out the barrel low.
Are most of your songs that you write, are they based on true stories that you researched or looked up?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent. There's a lot of truth and history in those tunes. There's some tune like Mr. Delaware is one of those tunes where it was a made up thing, but it was a real thing to me. You know, and like I'm in that story. My family's in that story. It was inspired by maybe like a 2-minute clip of a guy dancing around with a kangaroo, and that this whole story shot out. You know, but it was personal to me in a way of like. That song is more about like how parents sometimes force their kids to be what they wanted to be or who they are, and I was going through that with my son. I thought maybe I'm pushing him that way, and I need to back off. And so I learned a lesson in that process from writing that song, and that song became it's kind of my song, like in a way, like it's about me, you know, and it's about how parents can be disappointed in their kids and not support them, you know, and. So I don't know. I learned a lot about that and a lot about myself.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question I was going to ask you. Like,
yeah.
how has music shaped your life?
Yeah.
Where is it taking you in your direction?
It's kind of taken me all over, really. I think once I embraced music as a full-time thing, it kind of started teaching me everything about life that I needed to learn. You know, it's taught me a lot about myself. It's kind of inspired me in ways of dealing with grief. And kind of keeping people's history alive, going back to the storytelling aspect of it. You know, you write a song about your grandfather, you write a song about a friend who passed away, and it's like it's kind of giving them some immortality in a way, you know. And then the other thing that music has done for me is I've always been thrilled with the idea that you can write a song in your basement or your garage or in your bedroom, and then you put it down on a record, and then you send that to somebody in another state, and they like it enough to say, yeah, come play, I like that song, come play. So it literally takes you to other places, yeah. And I think that's why I like touring so much too, because I love that idea that the music is literally like paving the way to these different places and meeting different people that I hadn't met before, seeing different things, you know, that kind of thing.
What advice would you give an artist that was just starting out in this business?
Be ready to work really hard at everything. You know what I mean? It's kind of everything is a full-time job. You know, whether you're a guitar player, a singer, songwriter, you become a booker and a promoter and you become all those things, because ultimately I think these days you really have to rely on yourself to make things happen. You know. So it's just it's a business. It's a full, you know, it's your own business, and it's 24/7, you know, all the time. But it's probably the best thing you'll ever do if it's something that you really love. Everything that people love to do has some work aspect to it. You know?
That's right.
So you know, you have to just kind of embrace that. You know, it's like that old saying about the what is it? The best day of work still beats the worst day of fishing, or something like that. I think it's reversed.
Yeah.
The worst day of fishing beats the best day of work, or something like that. You know, I think a little bit about that, and I have my gigs that are work gigs, you know, and then you have the gigs that kind of get you to that like peak experience where you lose track of time and you're overwhelmed with the response, and you can ride on that for a long time, and it makes everything that you've done up until that point worth every bit of sweat and blood and everything else, and frustration, all that, you know.
Set 'em up and break 'em down. The greatest show around is in and out of town tonight. You'll move your funny bones, taking from the sound through the megaphone, send you home humming when you hit the road. All right. Red light, good night. It's rumored, my dear friend, that some folks will meet their end sliding down the rails from town to town. You had better pull your weight, or the heavy hand of fate will throw you out the boxcar to the ground. Red light, good night. Set 'em up and break 'em down. The greatest show around is in and out of town tonight. You'll move your funny bones, singing from a sound through the megaphone, send you home humming when you hit the road. All right. Red light, good night. Old Camel got the jig from the walkers he did take. We tried our best to keep it down low, but rumors are a disease and they spread with careless ease, bringing certain someone's in the know. Red light, set 'em up and break 'em down. The greatest show around is in and out of town tonight. You'll move your funny bones, singing from a sound through the megaphone, send you home humming when you hit the road. All right. Red light, good night. Old Topsy got the juice from a madman on the loose, a shocking truth the wizard used to prove a petty point. What was it he did say about non-violence in his day? Let it be shown that actions pulse more true than words. Have you heard? Red-eyed, red light, set 'em up and break 'em down. The greatest show around is in and out of town tonight. You'll move your funny bones, singing from a sound through the megaphone, send you home humming when you hit the road. All right. Red light, good night. Red light, good night. Red light, good night. Is that it? Should have seen that look in Father's eyes. His only son was born that mid-July. Year was 1895. Baby boxing boy, a father boxer's prize, Mr. Delaware. His fate is not your own, but you don't care. The king is in his throne and now his prince is there to carry on his title. Mr. Delaware.